Welcome to the Jet Setter video blog series. This week we're discussing the draft. Let's start talking about quarterback. When is it too early for the Jets to take a quarterback?
You know, this is a good question because other than Geno Smith, which we already shot that down, Ryan Nassib of Syracuse, people are very high on him, where people have him going to the second round, or even first round, which to me, you can't do that.
No,
Then you got Tyler Bray, Tyler Wilson, Matt Scott. I mean, there's guys all over the place. The intriguing guy to me, which I'm kind of on a bandwagon now, which I wasn't at first, was E.J. Manuel.
Everybody's on his bandwagon right now.
But now it's like, is he a second round pick? Or
I almost feel like he's going to go somehow make it into the first round out of pure hype.
And you can't do it. And you can't do that. So now you got to look at Tyler Bray, Tyler Wilson. You got to look at one of these, a later round guy. And the cool thing about, not cool thing, but the good thing about taking a guy in a fourth or fifth round, there's no pressure.
Right.
You bring in a fourth round pick and he plays awesome. If he doesn't play, who cares? I mean, not who cares, but there's no pressure. If you get a guy in the first, second round, the minute Sanchez screws up, which he's going to screw up, everybody's going to be chanting his name. We want him. We want him. A fifth round pick or fourth round pick, it's like, all right, he's a relative unknown. I mean, McElroy's there. I mean, whatever. But the pressure's less. But, I think
I'm the only person in the world that still loves him. But Landry Jones in the fourth round, third round.
I'm just not impressed by him. He's another guy. It's like, and the funny thing is, we're going to be doing an interview with Chris Stuber on Jet Nation Radio. Chris Stuber is very, very high on Matt Barkley. And the funny thing is, the minute the Jet fans hear USC and quarterback, everybody runs to the hills. But the guy is a player, depending on who you believe. And it's just like...
Well, it's interesting. The reason a lot of people don't like Geno Smith is because he has an NFL arm.
Yep.
But they're saying he will... He's
not consistent.
Well, not only that, like, he will wait for a receiver to the last minute and make the ball, throw the ball, because he can rely on his arm. We know the windows go from here to here in the NFL.
Yep.
The interesting thing about Barkley is he has great anticipation because didn't have a Geno Smith arm.
Yep.
So he already has that, what is the term, throwing a receiver open.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Well, see, the thing is, too, the funny thing about Barkley is, like, everybody's like, well, he's surrounded by talent. But it's true. USC is a machine.
Right.
But then they say Geno Smith is a quiet leader, which Mark Sanchez is a quiet leader, and he gets torn to shreds for that.
Right.
So it's an interesting dynamic. There's guys out there, but, the other position I want to talk to you about, I'm going to call you out a little bit. You were high on Kenny Vaccaro at safety.
Right.
I mean, the guy that everybody keeps talking to me about, there's like Shamarko Thomas, the Reed from all these other guys out there. But T.J. McDonald is a guy that everybody associates to the Jets because Tim McDonald is defensive back coach.
Right.
Who are safeties that you like? I'm putting you on the spot, Mr. Draft Guy.
The kid out of Florida is small.
Elam is
he's small, though. He scares me. He's like, best case scenario, you have a Brian Dawkins on your hands. A heat-seeking missile. But what have we seen with those type of safeties over the last couple of years? They are such wonderful kids. They don't care about their own body.
It's a new NFL, though. You got to be able to cover, though.
Right. And the thing is, with his height, are you going to be able to cover the tight ends? Too. That's what I'm afraid of. He's the only other first-round rated safety that I have.
Yeah.
Vaccaro, in my opinion, is a top 10 pick.
He is. I agree with that.
I really don't see another first-round safety. And at second round, I think you have to take a tight end. I think you got to.
I'm not opposed to that. There's some depth, but you got to keep in mind the Jets are they're entering the draft with two unproven safeties.
Right. It's
so you could your Vaccaro pick is not crazy because if all the pass rushers are gone, which they very well could be, do you pull up? Do you pull the trigger? You're addressing a huge hole in the team. It's not crazy.
And one position we haven't really touched on is receiver.
Yeah.
Now there's definitely not a top 10 receiver.
I'm not buying the hype on all this.
No,
I'm not buying the Cordell Patterson hype. I'm not buying
it.
No. No.
Could you go? Do the Jets go second round receiver again? I don't think you can do it.
Nope.
I can see third round receiver though.
I could see that. Again, who do you like?
We love the kid out of West Virginia. Stedman Bailey.
I like Stedman
Bailey. Good possession receiver. A lot of people have him. He's such a good possession receiver. People have him sneaking in the second round. The cool thing about the number 9 pick is you're picking 9 every round. So you have a top 10 pick every round.
That's not necessarily true. They switched around 9, 39. But here's my question for you, though. You look at the Jets receiving core. West Coast offense, possession. Santonio Holmes is unknown with his injury.
Right.
Stephen Hill can't catch a ball.
Can't catch a ball.
So you have Jeremy Curley and who?
That's right.
Clyde Gates? Seriously? So you got to find what people say. Oh, possession receiver. You want a guy that can catch the friggin' ball because right now we don't have anybody. You have Jeff Cumberland at tight end, who's a whatever, and then you have Jeremy Curley. So if you get a Stedman Bailey, who I'm very high on him and Robert Woods. Robert Woods probably won't be there. Probably after the third round. I think he's probably gonna go around there. But dude, you got to surround Sanchez, because it's going to be Sanchez, with talent. So if you can get a guy that consistent, runs good routes, and catch the ball, how do you find fault in Stedman Bailey?
No, I love people that I know it's overrated, but good hands or
West Coast offense is about timing and routes, man. I mean, and that's if you look at Stephen Hill, he does none of that.
No,
can't catch and runs terrible routes.
He can run.
And Santonio,
10-400, but can he catch the ball?
No. And then you get Santonio, who could probably could actually flourish in this offense, but he's coming off an injury, and then it's just if they start losing, who knows what's going to happen. So,
but the question is, are you getting another Jeremy Curley on your team?
That's the question. That's a good question.
I mean, they're the same player in my opinion.
They almost are. But then you have Marty Morningwood. You got to. I mean, at some point you got to coach these guys up. I mean, you can take any player and put him in any team and say, well, all right, does he fit? Your coaching staff has got to make them fit. If you have a tremendous talent that can be an asset to your team, especially in the 4th or 5th round, coach them up. Do your job.
Yeah, I mean, receiver it seems like there's value late, but no value early.
No, I'm not buying a Tavon Austin stuff and Cordell Patterson. I'm not
past the 4th round, we're talking about players that nobody's ever heard of. Let's do a fantasy mock first 3. I'll give you mine.
Okay.
You give me yours.
Can I drink first?
Yeah, please.
Okay, no, I'm good. Let's hear yours.
All right. I'm in the war room with the first pick, 9th overall. Jets take Kenny Vaccaro.
Going safety, okay.
Okay. Second pick, tight end, Stanford.
Zach Ertz, okay.
I love him. That kid is a smart tight end.
He is. He fits the
tough
mold.
kid.
He fits the mold.
And he can run after the catch. Really, really nice player.
Okay.
3rd round, Honey Badger.
Oh, are you really?
Curveball.
Really?
He can cover the slot. We know this.
Yep.
He can return punts.
He's no Kyle Wilson.
No, but he can return punts. There's value there. There's value, and I know it's a boom or bust pick, but what if it's a boom? Remember, a year ago, this kid was up for the Heisman. I know he's been out of football for a year.
Wow.
He ran a 4.5
in the 3rd round, though, huh?
3rd round, because the hype is getting heavy on him, and you're in the right spot in the 3rd round for him.
And he was in the Heisman. I mean, he was like a Heisman candidate too.
Right.
And he's hungry too. Like every interview you see on ESPN, he's like, I don't smoke pot. I don't smoke pot anymore. He's an angel right now.
New York City, but
that is the danger.
The practice facility is in Jersey.
He would love Rex.
Everybody lives in the suburbs in Jersey.
Yep.
Nobody lives like an apartment in New York City that's on the Jets. I mean, it's unaffordable. You just live in Jersey, so it's not like he's walking the streets of New York at night.
So are you taking Vaccaro based on the pass rushers being gone, or taking him just because you like him that much?
I like him that much.
So you'd pass on.
I think you get a 10-year Pro Bowler right there.
Really, out of Vaccaro?
I do.
So you're gonna pass on and you pass on Werner, any of those guys.
Deion
Jordan Falls, you don't take him?
No.
Really?
No.
That's interesting.
I'm in my value board, unless one of the 2 offensive tackles are there, which we know they won't be, unless one of those 2 fellows fall.
You don't think Warmack's going to be there?
Mm-mm.
Really? So the only thing why I agree with you is because all these teams that need a quarterback, they've all addressed it. The Cardinals got Palmer. I mean, there's a lot of teams. Even the Raiders got some Matt Flynn, but the money they're spending on these guys gives them the flexibility to get offensive linemen and address other issues. So I think the lineman could be gone. But wow, you're taking Vaccaro. That's a bold move right there.
I take Vaccaro because I just truly feel in my heart, and this is a gut thing, that of those we know Milner's going to be gone. We do. We just know.
I don't see him falling to 9. Not a shutdown corner. Not a shutdown corner, but he's a great corner.
My draft board goes out the window if that kid falls.
You take him.
Now,
especially with the Revis
we've seen
situation.
stuff like this happen. Remember, Prince Amukamara was the number 6 rated player in that draft.
Yep.
By a lot of very smart people. Right. He fell to like 18.
Yeah, he fell to.
So we know this stuff happens. But that was a weird situation where everybody started getting quarterback crazy.
Yep.
I just really think you get a 10-year Pro Bowler here. You got to take him.
That's a bold move. I like it.
And he can cover the slot.
He can, which we can't do that right now.
And he's not like a 6'3" safety, but he can cover tight ends.
Everybody reads high on him,
Yeah.
so I can agree with that.
You need somebody that can cover
See,
tight
I
ends.
go the opposite. I'm gonna go. My personal opinion is I don't take Mingo 'cause you can't. I think Ansah's gonna be gone.
Right.
Jordan's gonna be gone. I like Jarvis Jones a lot, but the way everybody, he's just dropping off
He's
boards.
scary. He's
the mock
scary
drafts
right
I read today, he's just dropping. So I'm gonna go Warner. Bjorn Warner.
Bjorn.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Mr.
take
German
him.
kid.
I mean, he's a 4-3 pass rusher, but I think Rex Ryan could do wonders with him. Second round, I'm gonna go Matt Elam, safety. You question his size and where he comes?
Well, then my question is, I don't think he'll be there. I think he's going to take.
My hope is that he's going to be there.
Right.
And the reason why is because we desperately need safety help. And I don't think, while T.J. McDonald, the guy we talked to Scott Wright, and Scott Wright was like, he's the top of the second tier of safeties.
Right.
While the Jets want him because of his father ties and everything else, you can't wait that long. You need a contributor right away. So I would take Elam there. And then third round, I'm going to go tight end. I'm going to go Escobar.
Okay.
I am.
That's good value in the third round.
If he's there. Another guy that if he's there, it's a passing league now. So you could see a run on tight ends, you could see a run on receivers. But same thing you're trying to do is trying to address safety and tight end, and I'm trying to get a pass rusher too. So
I just think if Vaccaro's there, right, and you pass on him for one of these defensive ends, I just think you're going to kick yourself in the butt for the next 10 years when you see him in every Pro Bowl.
And there's a couple pass rushers that could drop in the second round. It all comes down to Idzik and what he believes. But see, you got to have. My opinion is you got to affect. I mean, I don't like Rex at all at this point, but Rex Ryan's a defensive guy. If you give him a proven stud guy,
I just look at the Patriots. They have two stud tight ends locked up for 5 years. You got to cover.
How'd that work out for them the last 5 years?
Well, yeah.
They're not winning anything.
Right.
And what's their biggest flaw? They can't stop anybody.
Right.
So Tom Brady can be as great as he can, but Joe Flacco lit him up. So you got to be good on defense. Honey Badger's a good call, though, because that's
third round.
And see, the thing is, too,
for the punt return value
especially,
and the playmaking value.
And it gives you some wiggle room with Revis, too.
Right.
Because then you have Cromartie, him, Kyle Wilson, whatever. But it gives you just a little wiggle room, like almost an insurance policy. It's a bold move, though. And the Lattimore, too, is interesting, too.
I like I like Deion Sanders' take on him, Honey Badger, that is, because he said he has good hips, and if you watch him on tape, he just absorbs that football.
Yep.
A lot of defensive backs can't do that. He just absorbs that ball.
Yeah,
playing that slot, if he can get a couple turnovers for you, maybe return a couple punts for you. I just think there's nice value there.
I can't argue. You
I
can't
don't know
argue
if he'll
with
be there at number. What is it? 9 in the third round as well.
It's 9, 39, 72. I could be wrong. But it's.
I mean, that's the right position. And I think he might be there. But in third round, he's almost like. I think everybody's going to be a buzz about him in the third round.
Yeah,
he's still available.
Yeah, because it's like the upside is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got our opinions, that's for sure here.
Well, you know what? What do they call it? The biggest crapshoot this side of the Hudson.
But the thing is, though, it's like you're going to learn a lot about Idzik and a lot about Rex. If you take project players or guys that maybe contribute next year, that's Idzik saying, you know what? I don't care about Rex Ryan's job this year. I'm worried about building this team. If we take guys the boomer bust guys, the guys we talked about, are they trying to save Rex's job or trying to give Rex? Are you about winning this year or winning about the next couple years? You're going to learn a lot about this team, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially with Revis.
Well, it's the most fun time of the year, so let's see what Christmas presents we
get
to open.
Fans.
All right, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching our latest video. Please check us out at thejetcenter.com, on Twitter, TRauch21. Also, I do Jet Nation Radio every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, so at Jet Nation Radio on Twitter. And we want to thank Dead Series Fight Gear as well. So free agency's coming and going. The draft's coming up. Just keep following us. We'll try to do the best we can. Talk to you guys later.